All right, so today we are going to start talking about integers, which is basically all of the positive and negative numbers. There's going to be a math fever game that is talked about in the book. When you get a point or a question correct, you get that number of points added in, and if you get the question incorrect, then you lose that value for your question. So being a subtraction or a negative value added in. So let's take a real quick look at a couple of questions so that we can start introducing this concept of positive and negative numbers. Okay, so we've got three teams playing the math fever game, and at one point in the game, the super brains have a score of negative 300. The rocket scientists have a score of 150, and the know-it-alls clearly don't know much because they are sitting at negative 500 points. So, question A1 says, which team has the highest score? So, question A1, which team has the highest score? That's the first part of the question. And that would be the rocket scientists have the highest. So the highest would be the rocket scientists. Okay. And then it says which team has the lowest. So the lowest score is going to be, we have a negative 300 and a negative 500. And so what I want to think about, which number is farther away from 0? Well, in this case, it's the know-it-alls, because negative 500 would be further away from 0 than negative 300. Both of these are negative scores, meaning that they are below 0, or to the left of 0. But one of them is further than the other. So that would be the know-it-alls. So I'm going to know-it-alls. Okay. Now, how we decided was I used my knowledge of a number line. So I know that a number line goes on forever in both directions, and 0 is the middle of our number line. So everything to the right side, are positive numbers to the right of 0. And everything to the left of 0 are negative numbers. Okay? So, let's take a look and find the difference. So for A2, let's find the difference for the number of points in each pair of teams. So we're going to start, and I'm going to do some abbreviating here. We're going to call the super brains, those we're going to do BSB, rocket scientists will be RS, and the know-it-alls will be KA. All right? So find the difference for the number of points in each team. Difference meaning to be like a subtraction. Okay, that's normally what we think of when we see the word difference. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to look at how far apart they are. So I'm going to take the super brains and the rocket scientists. Okay, super brains are sitting at negative 300 points, and the rocket scientists are at 150. Well, before we learn how to subtract these properly, I'm going to do some simple logical thinking here, and I'm going to know that from 0, if I start at 0, this is going 300 places to the left, and this is 150 places to the right. And so if like 150 would be over here on our number line, and negative 300 would be over here on our number line. So really what I want to do, since they are on opposite ends of 0, to find out how far apart they are, or the difference, is I really want to just simply take 300 plus 150. Now that looks a little weird because I'm not including the negative sign here. So let's set it up another way. Let's say we have 150 minus the negative 300. So I want us to think about something real quick. If we are subtracting, and I'm going to come over here to this side of the page, if we are subtracting, and I am on a number line, and let's say that this is 0, and we'll just keep our numbers pretty simple. So this would be 3, and this is -3, -2, -1. Okay? If I wanted to take 3 minus 1, my answer would be 2, which means I'm moving to the left. This is the subtraction of a positive number, which means I'm going to start here and go one place to the left. Okay? Does that make sense? Good. All right, so that's basic subtraction. So what we're doing here is we are starting on a number line, and we are saying that at positive 150, we want to go to the left, -300. Well, if we're going to the left, -300, that's kind of a double negative. And in math, when we get to double negatives or the subtraction of a negative, what we're really doing is adding a positive 300, because subtraction means we go to the left, but then that negative value is kind of like a U-turn. So we're actually going to go back to the right, so that our answer winds up to be 450 points, so that they have a difference of 450 points. So between the superbrains and the rocket scientists, there is a difference of 450. Okay? Now, let's take a look at one more before I stop the video for today, and then I'll let you finish the questions. Let's take a look at the superbrains. I said I was going to use abbreviations, so let's simplify this a little bit. Let's do the superbrains and the know-it-alls. Okay, so we've got -300 and -500. And so what's the difference there? Well, this is going to be the same thing. We're going to simply subtract. Okay, so both of these numbers are on the left side of 0, so we're finding the difference between these two. So it works very similar to how positive numbers work. So let's take -500 minus a -300, and we're going to get a -200. Okay, now again, that double negative means that we're really adding the opposite of that negative sign. So we could really say that we have -500 plus 300, and that's going to give us a difference of -200 points. So the difference in points here would be 200 points. We're not going to associate the negative sign, but there is a difference of 200 points between these two. Okay? All right, so let's take a quick second and review. When we have negative numbers fall to the left of 0. When we have positive numbers fall to the right of 0. Okay, over here. What I want you to do is, there is another video attached to today's lesson. It is just an introduction into the game and the rocket scientists and that kind of stuff. But I want you to find, for A2, you're going to find the difference between the know-it-alls and the rocket scientists. And then I want you to set up A3 in the form of a number sentence that would also give you the answer. So just kind of basically doing what we've been doing. I mean, our number sentences man, my pen's messing up. For the superbrains and the rocket scientists was 300 plus 150, or 150 minus a -300. We could also do the same thing with our superbrains and the know-it-alls. All right, so you need to finish A2 and A3 prior to coming to class tomorrow.